What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So, got to talk about this. And I knew before when I made the last video about this, just the fight itself, what needed to happen for Alycia Baumgardner to basically make that statement that, hey, she's back, she's ready, let's move next, right? Well, this fight ended differently. And like I said, I'm never shocked about the end, what the results of a fight, things happen. So she fought Delfine Persoon. Now, when I found out who she was fighting, I felt like, why the hell is she choosing her, man? Okay, whatever. Now, I look at this, and fighters are always going to say things. Okay, the purpose is to sell a fight. But Delfine Persoon is 39 years old. She's a journeywoman and hasn't made any noise in boxing for a long time now. And when I found out that this is who Alycia Baumgardner was fighting, first thing came to my mind about the fight is, yeah, this is a fight designed to make Alycia really shine and look good. Bottom line. Second thing I thought about was, it's not a good look though. Now, if she goes in there and wipe the floor with Delfine Persoon, then okay, she did what she was supposed to do. But it's still not an overwhelming victory because Delfine Persoon, like I said, has done nothing in a long time. So Delfine Persoon comes out. She has this leg brace, and it goes like from her calf all the way up to the top of her thigh. And I'm saying, how the hell is she cleared to fight if she have to wear that? I've never seen anyone wear a brace like that in the ring. I've seen people spar, come in the ring, come in the ring, the gym, and try to just to avoid from sitting home and gaining weight and not being active. Try to stay in some type of shape. Delfine Persoon was switching stances because she had no mobility with the right leg, so she kept switching back and forth. And the crazy thing about it, people would say, "Yo, why is she fighting somebody with a prosthetic leg?" All right, and that's what it kind of looks like at first because she got skinny legs on top of that, and honestly, that's what it looked like—a prosthetic leg. But it was funny in that sense because I'm saying, wow. Then like the thought, who knows? Maybe in boxing today they might even allow that. I don't. Who knows? Now let's get to the fight. Plain and simple. Alycia Baumgardner said before, the press conference before the fight, I feel better than I ever did. She said she looked even sharper, even better. The things she's doing in training now, you're going to see the best version of her, and she looks like she's even better now than she was. Okay, the fight itself, she's faster. She was the sharper of the two, technically better. Delfine Persoon, slow, opening wide to throw punches, leading with her chin. Um, Slow to get her hands back up. But she was able to crack Alycia Baumgardner here and there with hard shots. She would run into the shots, trying to load up, and she would run into something. A couple of times she got cracked hard by Delfine Persoon, right? Or let's just say with power shots. Okay. Alycia Baumgardner. The fact that the fight they did not complete full rounds. The fight was considered a no contest. So more than likely they're going to fight again. Now this is a waste of time as far as I'm concerned, simply because Alycia should be advancing to fight somebody else better. But now she's going back in the ring with the same competitor, and no one's going to be impressed because she beats Delfine Persoon. She didn't look her best to me. Now, people going to say, well, ring rust. No, see, I get so sick of hearing that excuse about ring rust. The fighters sit here and brag about how good they looked in training camp. I'm in the best shape of my life. I've never felt better. You're going to see a better version of me. And then they go in there and then all of a sudden it's ring rust. Like, stop it, y'all. Stop it. Stop it. I'm not going for that ring rust stuff. this is what I'm going to tell you. You know, the sparring is there, the rounds is there. I don't know. Maybe it's just a mindset of these new wave people, because fighters and fans alike. Because I know real fighters, it ain't about no damn ring rust bullshit. You in there sparring, you're getting the work in, you're sparring, you know, different people, getting different looks, all that. So I don't know how the fuck you talk about ring rust and you're in there sparring. So what, you got on 16-ounce gloves and headgear? You're still working on this, your sharpness, your speed, everything's there. We see some fighters come back and they never lost a step. So I'm not trying to hear no ring rust bullshit, especially after the type of shit that she was talking. Now, beating Delfine Persoon at this stage in her career is not something people really going to care about. A lot of people were saying, once again, Baumgardner is fighting someone that we don't really care about. When is she going to step up and fight against the very top women? Now, she came in 129 point something. Well, let me tell you something. She has a curvy body, so she looked like she was in fight shape. Okay, she looked like she was in fight shape. But she was not as cut, as ripped as normally. Fuck no, she wasn't. And I'm saying in previous videos, she's going to really need to shine. What did I say? Every time someone fails a drug test and come back, and all of a sudden now, the power's not the same, the body doesn't look the same, and all of a sudden, it's not the same type of spectacular win. Look at her very last performance. She was hurting, forget the chick name, but she was hurting her, stopping her in her tracks. And people always say Baumgardner fights like she's holding back, like she doesn't trust her stamina. And I said, that's probably what it is. She fights in spurts. And this is the same person. Okay, they fought in this some little arena. I didn't call that shit an arena. Some little, like a damn garage. The Georgia Plex or something like that. This had COVID vibes. Man, it was probably more people in the fucking bathroom than in this audience. And I'm like, what is this little building she's in? This was a tiny little building, man. It's like back in the day, NWA wrestling, studio wrestling. Like when this little place was so tiny, they didn't even want to pan the crowd. It was a tiny little, it looked like a freaking garage. This is the same fighter telling Claressa Shields 147 or no fight, as if Claressa needs her. And then it was just overwhelming that she was in this little tiny ass building. And I'm, okay, but you know, she got her own promotional company now. Yeah, okay, well, maybe that's where she fucked up. But at the end of the day, that little tiny ass building, what were they charging for tickets to get in that little shit? I promise you, my house is a nice size. It's not a nice size for a fucking boxing event. That fucking place didn't look any bigger than my home. I'm telling you, it was a tiny little building she was in. And even for the ring announcer, for the thousands of attendants and the millions around, how many in attendance? You mean the few that's in attendance. Now, let's just be real. When Baumgardner made this comment saying she thinks that Claressa Shields is fighting at heavyweight to make it easier for herself, she says Claressa Shields is jealous of her. Based on what? I mean, your physicality versus her physicality is subjective. Whatever. I don't think Claressa gives a fuck about that. Then two, you can't compare your accomplishments to Claressa's at all. It will be a joke. Three, you can beat Claressa in a fight. The only way you're going to beat Claressa is if she came down and drained herself to where she was weak in the fight and you weren't. And she was just drained and just couldn't perform. Otherwise, Claressa will smoke Alycia Baumgardner. Alycia Baumgardner is a good fighter, but she's not as good as she thinks she is. She's just not. She's not aggressive enough. She doesn't have the type of combination punches. She don't push. Look, when she opens up and tries to get aggressive, she gets cracked. And, you know, certain fights you see and you don't know how to call it. You just get a... Listen, there's no doubt in my mind, Claressa would destroy Baumgardner. How are you going to give demands to the A side? Not only that, the A side that's far more accomplished and have a lot more people coming out to watch her fight. Once again, Alycia Baumgardner, and listen, and this is not to slight her. This is just to be honest about the situation. Alycia Baumgardner is eye candy to most of these guys. If you look in her comment section, she gets far more compliments about her looks, her beauty, her body than she does about her fighting skills. If they really were her fans, they'd come out and support her fights. This is what I'm saying. That little tiny building that she fought in. If Clarissa fought in that motherfucker, Alycia Baumgardner would be on X making little sarcastic emojis and remarks. Alycia Baumgardner will not be the A side against Amanda Serrano unless Amanda goes and get knocked out by somebody or something and there's like a fight where Amanda needs her or something like that. She's not the A side against Katie Taylor. She's definitely not the A side against Clarissa Shields. So in any step-up fight that she would have, it doesn't matter. Just like, for example, Devin Haney was him being undisputed champion. And like I mentioned this before, him and Bill both said, we know if we fight Tank Davis that he's the A side. We know that. We know that he's going to call the shots. But we made the offer because he's not making an offer. But we know he's the A side. The problem with Alycia Baumgardner is in her head, she thinks she's the A side, and she's clearly not. Now people are making even more of a mockery out of it. Why? One, the venue she fought in. Two, she didn't look as sharp as she was talking like she would. Yeah, she said this is the best she's ever felt, and you're going to see an even better version of her. She clearly said that the things she's doing in the gym and all that, and listen, we know that the fight was stopped on the accidental headbutt, and Persoon was cut, I think, over the right eye or whichever, but she was, split open and they stopped the fight. So that's why it was a no contest, like I said earlier, but that's why it was stopped. And Baumgardner didn't really impress anybody. Now, Shields went out in her last fight and knocked out a heavyweight. You went in this fight with a journeywoman. And, it was going back and forth. And for her to try to slight Shields by saying she went to heavyweight to make it easier. No, she went to heavyweight to become undisputed. So she's trying to become undisputed in 4 different weight classes. Okay? You still have to play catch up because she's 2 ahead of you. You're not talking about going up to Clarissa Shields' weight. You're talking about going to a weight class where there's no belt at all on the line. And I have no doubt in my mind that you feel like 147 would drain her. And that would be your only chance to win. Because if you're trying to say that 154 is too big for you, okay, then you have to have common sense to know that this woman just went to heavyweight, so 147 would probably be too small for her. And if you're going to go by this whole childish, yeah, but she said, I don't give a fuck what she said. You said a whole lot of shit too. Bottom line is, she don't have to meet you at any weight class. But when she said, plain and simple, come to 154 or get a title at 147 first. Now, Terry Harper just fought and defended her belt at 147. Michaela Mayer, she just fought and won the WBO title from what's her name? Anyway, she just won her fight. And pretty much she's fighting at 147. Before you even think about getting in the ring at 150, you're not even going to go to 154. But before you even think about getting in the ring with Shields, how about you go to 140? How about you go up, fight against Serrano if you can get that fight? And Serrano told you already she want 12 rounds, 3 minutes a round. Why don't you fight Katie Taylor or the winner of that, or fight both of them just to say, hey, I fought both and beat both? Now, if you find it in you to go all the way to 147, then you should have no problem rematching Michaela Mayer. See, you're trying to jump up to the very best in the division, the best in the sport, period. Let me say it that way, as female boxing in the sport. And you're trying to clout chase because you knew Shields wasn't coming down to no damn 147. And even for her to come down to 147, if that weight doesn't drain her and have her feeling weak or anything, bottom line, she'd destroy you. I'm just being straight up real. Baumgardner doesn't have anything for Shields. She doesn't have it. She doesn't throw enough punches. And she gets cracked when she tries to load up and throw power shots, and she runs into shit. And all honesty, right now, people are clowning her. Like I said, for the venue, for the way the fight itself went, and then 3, everybody notices her body doesn't look the same. Conor Ben did the same shit. And he came back, all this shit talk about knocking out everybody. Then he comes back, his body looks soft, his punches didn't have the same effect, he goes the distance. And then his excuses, I needed the rounds. Okay, when's the last time Conor Ben fought since then? I just needed the rounds. That's what people say when they need the rounds, and then they know they want to jump back in, right? Because they need the rounds to get going. And then he takes this hiatus again. And all you hear with Conor Ben, first he's supposed to fight Tank, and then declined, or not even, or however it went, nothing happened. Then he turns around and he's bumping into Kell Brook with this staged WWE performance, and this is what they were talking about, and it's like, so what exactly happened with Conor Ben? What happened with all of these guys that take PEDs? And then they end up, any of these people, they take PEDs, they take steroids, whatever they do, and then the very next fight, it goes the distance, no more knockouts. And they don't look the same, physically, or their power. It's just not the same. Now people are looking at Baumgardner, and I'm seeing comment sections filled with, yeah, see what happens when you're not on PEDs, see what happens now. And Michaela Mayer, this is the first time I've seen her do an interview and Baumgardner's name didn't come up. Now, not saying she won't do it again, but everybody is going to pull this whole, hey, guess what? You see what happened when she's not on steroids? Now all of a sudden, her punching power is not the same. Her muscles wasn't the same. And no, she wasn't. Her body, like I said, she's curvy and she was muscular, but she wasn't ripped like she normally looked. Even in her face, you know, when she really ripped, even her face had that kind of slim, bony look. She didn't have that. She didn't have that. And I'm just saying, come on, this is Delfine Persoon. You didn't crush her. She stopped Terry Harper in what, 3 or 4? This was stopped on the headbutt. I'm just saying. So Sandy Ryan, Michaela Mayer just beat Sandy Ryan for her belt at 147. So, you know what I'm saying? All of these is like, you know, for Baumgardner, now you have to go through this whole fight again with a journeywoman. Whatever happens between Serrano and Taylor, Baumgardner said out her own mouth, boxing isn't forever. She knows that. So now that you've made that move of talking shit about Clarissa, acting like she called you out, and now she's scared to come to your weight class. No, you called her out, and you're scared to go to her weight class. And for you to try to even make the stipulation of 147, like, you know damn well you don't have no authority to do anything. You're the B side, plain and simple. You do things the way the A side wants to dictate, and if it's not something you want to do, then you don't have to. But the fact that you feel the need to constantly comment on it and try to make it seem like Clarissa's ducking you, people are laughing at you right now. They're laughing. And nobody cares about that rematch. And if you're going to fight in that same little ass arena again, that's even worse. So what y'all really need to be doing is trying to get the best undercard that you can, so it's not an embarrassment of an event. That was, honestly, that was a pathetic. The card was weak. The card was weak. The building, if you guys haven't seen it, you see this building, it's like, it looked like they're in a garage, man. Like, that's a tiny, some Georgiaplex, little small building. This place is little. It's tiny. Like, I'm being honest with you guys. Picture a Midas brake shop or something. What I'm saying, like, the size, it's like, it looked like a little ass garage. Like, I mean, you could hear them breathing in the ring. It was so empty. The commentators were delusional as hell. When they were saying, the female commentator was saying, she looks very sharp right now. And I'm saying, really? Baumgardner didn't look as sharp as she normally does. No, she definitely didn't. She definitely didn't look as sharp as she normally does. And, you know, I'm not saying they should have tried to tear her down or tear down her opponent. It's just that they were speaking like they were watching a completely different fight from what we were watching. And I'm just looking at this like, you know, people going to do what they're going to do. Well, they need to get a better, much better card. They need to try to, somebody, and the thing about it is, she's probably going to have an undercard that's going to be even a bigger draw than the main event, to be honest with you, because who cares to see this fight again? And after people who didn't see it actually looked to see the fight itself and realize, like, damn, what the hell are they fighting at? Like, it's a joke, man. This is an undisputed champion fighting in this little tiny ass arena. Now, the fight went the way it went. I believe she should beat Delfine Persoon. I believe she should beat her. I believe she should stop her. And for the people saying, oh, she purposely didn't come in as chiseled because she didn't want to hit people, hey, please, no, that's bullshit. Okay, so why would you do anything different? Are you not taking whatever you was taking to be so ripped? Why would you? Because that would be like saying, oh, I just didn't train as hard as I normally do. Or I focused on a different part of my training. No, stop it, man. No, you know, when she's really chiseled, her shoulders, her back, her traps, everything is, her tricep, everything. She didn't have that look this time. She looked kind of soft around the back and all that, whatever. Just looked a little loose. But she looked like she was in fight shape, but she was not nearly as chiseled. And bottom line, that would be completely stupid and the opposite. If I wanted to shut up the critics, I would have came in just as chiseled. You understand what I'm saying? I'd have been just as ripped. Yeah, okay. My body look exactly the same. So, yeah. You understand what I'm saying? You know, it's like when people say stupid shit, like, you know, like the whole situation with Devin Haney and lying, crying, Ryan Racist Garcia. When people would say things like, yo, but you got to understand, you know, it's not like steroids made his punches more accurate. We like, yeah, dum-dums. We pretty much know that the steroids is not going to make him more accurate, but it will make his punches that much harder. Along with the fact he purposely didn't make weight, so he's not weight drained at all, but Devin Haney is. So yeah, Devin Haney, bad technique, getting caught with that damn left hook, the same shot over and over. Yes, that was all Devin Haney's fault. You know, for not being better defensively. But at the same time, let's not play stupid and act like the Peds don't make a difference. That was just a deflection to try to pretty much not, you know, hold Ryan Garcia for being accountable for what his racist ass did. So now he's being sued. And you know, I saw Eddie Hearn said he think this is going to be anywhere between 50 to 100 million. And it's not just about Ryan Garcia, what he did. It's also about the simple fact that, look, this dude did what he did. And people are acting like it's okay. And if they don't force what they're doing, that's what will happen in the future. Nobody would even care. They could give a shit about somebody. Somebody could come to the ring coked up. They wouldn't care. All they care about is cheering for the fighter that they want to see win. So this right here, if they win this lawsuit, great. You're going to just sit here and let this motherfucker have a little vacation and sit here jumping on social media talking shit as if what he did is a thing of the past and it's over. No, it's not over with. Take that motherfucker through the ringer. It's as simple as that. So, and that's what I said from day one. I don't think Devin Haney should take time off just because Ryan's taking time off. But if he's going to take time off, man, he need to follow up with a lawsuit. You guys remember me saying that? Because that motherfucker, what he did, it's one thing to just get mad and then just say things in interviews, but it's like, take action. Somebody got to be made an example of. So yeah, hell yeah, sue this motherfucker. Sue him. And at the end of the day, it's one of these things where people need to understand. Once you find yourself in a position where you're talking a whole lot of shit, but you also have a lot of people supporting you, no matter how wrong you were. Now, you know if the same thing happened to you, you wouldn't like it. But you don't give a fuck because it didn't happen to you. So you start making up other shit, talking about how you was molested by a black man, all this other goofy shit, all this other stupid shit that he did. Now, he does all that. He says these things. His racist friend, Tio, sits here and talks shit like he referenced, Shakur and Javante, whichever monkey want the banana. type bullshit, right? So all this goofy shit. And I'm like saying, you see, every time you turn around, what is Ryan doing? Bitch ass motherfucker. Fuck you. Suck my dick. This is what he's doing. So, hey, nah, y'all gonna just sit here and let him have a vacation, huh? John Bones Jones, UFC fighter, like a jackass, sitting up here taking a picture with this racist motherfucker. Well, all this shit. So, no. Devin and them doing what they doing, they should do it. They should do it. And people need to understand. You fuck up, you get caught, you get sued, you get stripped, whatever. They need to know that there's consequences. Because I'm telling you, this is what happens. Once someone does those things and cross those lines and they get away with it, yeah, everybody think they can get away with it now. So they need to make an example of this dude. And hopefully the truth all comes out to where, like, if there's anybody else involved in something, that name didn't come up, whatever, that it gets exposed, his ass gets sued, and now he knows he have to come in the ring clean. Simple. Simple. But someone who doesn't have a solid thinking process might make the same mistake twice. So yeah, once again, yeah, Devin Haney fought the wrong strategy. He tried to fight in a style that doesn't suit him. And yeah, he kept getting hit with the same punch that he told him, all you got is a left hook. And he just kept landing that shit. But again, yes, steroids make you a lot stronger. And on top of that, guess what? The motherfucker didn't make weight purposely. So he could be a lot stronger. Once again, we know what the plan was. So that's that with that. And I hope he get the pantsuit off of him. He deserves it. And that's the least that the Hades can do. But on the other hand, in closing this video for Baumgardner, like I said, they're gonna do what they do. And like I said in the last video about her, man, she really should just focus on boxing and stop getting caught up with he said, she said. Stop talking shit about fighters when you know you're not willing to go to their weight class. If Claressa Shields had called out Alycia Baumgardner, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, or anybody else, just, oh, I want to fight this person. Oh, they scared, they don't want to smoke. I'd be saying the same thing. Like, Claressa, why are you calling out women way smaller than you and you're not willing to go to their weight class? Now, it's different if Baumgardner would have said, hey, listen, I want to fight with Shields. And before she even goes public with it, hey, Claressa, her team or however, they sit down and, that I'm thinking about putting a fight together between me and you. Like, what you think? And y'all discuss it. And if it's something that she's not into, she's not in your weight class, or whatever, and you feel like, well, I'm going to go public and make it happen. Well, I talked to, well, that's a backstabbing, two-faced move if this is supposed to be your friend. Well, we all know that now that she wasn't a friend to her. She thought she was, but you wasn't. Now, if it's the type of thing where just on the business side of things where you feel like, hey, man, look, so before this go public, if it's not going to go public, it's not going to be a fight. But I'm thinking about a fight. Can you make 147? You know what I'm saying? And you work things out, then guess what? All right, let's make it official. Then you make this announcement. You build the fight up, and hey, fight night, let's rock. But when you sit up here and call fighters out, and you're not willing to go to their weight class, then you want to pull, oh, you scared to come down, you don't want to smoke. Nah, you're scared to go up. Same way you don't want to go to 154, she don't have to come to 147. So to, take that route, what happened. But now here you are, Claressa is about to whatever her next fight going to be, they're setting up where it's a unification fight. You're defending your titles for the second time against a journeywoman, 39-year-old Delfine Persoon. You're fighting in a little tiny gym. I don't care what they call it, the Georgia Plex. So there's a tiny-ass little building. Tiny, like a garage, literally. You don't see Katie Taylor. You don't see nobody. You don't see these established women fighting in small little buildings like that. And the one thing that she also said was people have to learn, like, all over again, like, who is Alycia Baumgardner? You don't hear Claressa Shields or Katie Taylor or Amanda Serrano, Terry Harper, not even fighters that you beat already. You don't hear nobody saying that. Because the position that she was in, okay, you won your fight, then all of a sudden you pop dirty. Now we need to see what you can do, right? Eyes are going to be on you. So we're going to assume you're not going to make that same mistake twice. Now, let's see how you look in your next fight. That's why this person was handpicked for her. Delfine Persoon does not ring bells anymore, man. She hasn't done anything in a good 4 or 5 years. You understand? So now, for Delfine Persoon to come in there with this fucking leg brace, so that doesn't make it even... I mean, it's like, damn, you're fighting somebody who's fucking injured. And you didn't go in there and dog walk her. That's the talk. That's the term she like to use. I'm a dog walk that bitch. She ain't dog walk Persoon. And she had a brace on. Now, she could say, if the fight would have continued, well, damn, it really shouldn't have went 4 rounds. So, I think what she needs to really do, I know if I was in her corner, I would tell her, look, Alycia, if anybody asks you about Shields, you know what? Just say, listen, Shields and me are 2 different weight classes. No need to talk. It's not happening. I'm focused on who's actually in my view of who's next. But instead, she feeds into it and goes on and on and on and on. Right? But she's not willing to go up to fight Clarissa, and she's talking about 147 or no fight as if Shields needs her. No, Shields is making history whether you want to realize that or not. Because if she becomes unified, then becomes undisputed, all you're doing is fighting people that nobody really cares to see you fight. So you actually have a bigger fight in a rematch with Michaela Mayer than anybody else in the division that you're in. There's nobody else there. I mean, I don't know if Troy moved up or not, but you don't really have no names there at 130. So for you, it should be about going up to 140, then trying to become undisputed. Going up to 147, then trying to become undisputed. This shit doesn't happen overnight. So even calling out someone that's way bigger than you, that's not even thinking about you, that basically, if they was to fight you and come down to 147, there's no belt on the line, but you know that fight wasn't going to happen. You knew it wasn't going to happen. And looking at Baumgardner, her performance, I'm not about, getting to, it's not so much about the haters talking shit, because people going to do this ignorant shit regardless, but no, I'm saying, with nobody's influence, her body does not look nearly as cut up and as ripped as she normally looks. Her power didn't look like it was the same. She had some snap on her shot because she got some speed when she threw a quick punch, but that power didn't seem like it was the same either. And she didn't look as sharp. So with all of what she said and how she boasted about how she's going to look even better, comparing yourself to Shields, in fact, right now, to even compare yourself to anybody that's even close to your weight, people are going to have to see it to believe it. The few fans that care about your skills and not just your physique and your beauty, they're the few that you might see saying, hey man, we still with you, champ, or hey, keep your head up, champ, or whatever. Otherwise, the majority of people right now are doubting her. They're not looking at her like they used to, but at the same time, she's not able to put a bunch of asses in seats. And for you to not be a draw, and for you to have that type of performance where you didn't go in there and dog walk a woman with a damn leg brace on. Just saying, people are going to factor all that in. And so the majority of the people that you thought were on your side simply because you verbally attacked Clarissa Shields are the same ones sitting here now laughing at you and saying, oh, now that you're not on pairs, you're not as strong. Just saying. And also you need to understand, in this rematch, you need to dog walk Persoon. You need to back up all that talk you do about dog walking people, not just technically outbox somebody a little bit, but really, you need to. And if you go in there with this dirty woman and this shit goes a distance, it's not going to look good at all. And even if you do get the fight with Serrano or Katie Taylor, because they're supposed to fight again, from what I understand, and how soon, I don't know. But you're going to see how fast this time ticks. And all of a sudden, you're still trying to play catch up. So, honestly, I feel like you already did what you did. You get past Persoon, man, you might need to have your next step being go up to 135, go up to 140 or whatever, and try to just become undisputed there, because what you're not is a draw. And also, there's still the type of thing with you with the drug cheat shit where people are looking at it like we still don't know what actually happened. Okay, I don't even care anymore. Not that I ever really cared, but for the sake of boxing, for the sport being clean, I'm saying I don't even care what it was, because what happened happened, and 3 months later you gave a hair sample. So now people are looking, and this is exactly what I said. She needs to really shine. Y'all saw what I said in the last video. Y'all heard it. Y'all saw the thumbnail. She really needs to shine, because the ridicule is there. On top of that, and the doubt is there. She need to go in there and show. And for her to come there with her body looking softer, same thing with Conor Ben. Come on, anybody else? Anybody else? So you look and go, nah, this person don't look the same. And all of a sudden, that punch is more like, when before it was like, it's like, what happened? What happened? So that's how that fight went. She basically, no contest. Harper just won her fight. Michaela Mayer just beat Sandy Ryan in a majority decision, win at 147. So, there's fights out there. And for whatever reason that you're trying to avoid rematching Michaela Mayer, you know what I mean? Because you keep acting like you want to fight everybody other than her. Now she has a belt as well. So if which probably you might just get for unification, you might end up getting Michaela Mayer versus Terry Harper next. Now, if Michaela Mayer ends up becoming undisputed at 147, you guys are still in two different weight classes. So at the end of the day, yeah, she's going to call your name, and she's going to say, you talking a lot of shit, come up to 147. You said you'll come up and fight Shields at 147. I'm already here. You understand what I mean? And to be honest with you, that's more realistic to happen between you and somebody else at 147 than Shields. Shields have no reason to go to 147. Now, Shields said if any one of them get a title at 147 and the time is right, like right now, Shields is going after undisputed at heavyweight. So why the fuck would she drop weight to come down to 147 and then have to come back up to heavyweight? Then she's doing the PFL thing. So, no, she's not moving at any of y'all pace. She moving at her own pace. So everybody's trying to accomplish what they're trying to accomplish. Now, not saying Alycia Baumgardner has to go up to 147 at this moment. No. But she's already became undisputed. Now, if you're just going to defend titles at 130 and you still don't have any names, you understand what I mean? You don't have any names left there. So she's more in the position that she tried to pretend Shields was in, as that position of, oh, there's nobody else there. She needs me. No, she can become undisputed there. And to be perfectly honest with you, after she does that, if anybody's holding the title at 147 that she's interested in fighting, she probably will come down to 147 then. But in the meantime, you're in a position of still trying to, like you said out of your own mouth, people got to still trying to find out who's Alycia Baumgardner, even though you're undisputed. So we know that you're not on the same level as Shields. We know that. You're not even on the same level as Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. Now physically, skill for skill, you might can beat Katie Taylor. Now, if Serrano slows down, you might be able to beat her. I don't know. But bottom line is that's what people need to see. Not you trying to fight somebody that's way too big just to make the excuse that, it was a weight issue or whatever after you lose. It's not necessary. Okay, you have dogs, you have bulldogs. Okay, you have pit bulls. You're not a bulldog. You're not a pit bull. You're more like a German Shepherd. Amanda Serrano was more like a bulldog. Katie Taylor is more like she's more like a German Shepherd, but a bigger one. She's more like a German Shepherd. Clarissa Shields is a fucking Tiberian bull mastiff, man. She will fucking eat your little ass up. I don't see no damn Amanda Serrano. I don't see KDT. I don't see any one of y'all beating Clarissa Shields. None of them. None of them. Shit happens in fights, but I don't see none of y'all beating Clarissa Shields. Bottom line, I just don't. And for you, Baumgardner, you need to focus on those women closer to your weight and prove yourself there. So if it ever comes down to you and Clarissa Shields at 147 or 154, if you get the heart to go up there, you have more of a realistic chance to at least make the fight interesting at that point. Where people, at least anticipation for it, because you racked up all these belts and not to take away from what you've done. I'm just being real about the way shit is and the way shit goes, man. I don't sugarcoat anything. You're too small. You're not even good enough to beat Shields, is what I'm saying. As good as you are a good fighter. Shields will fuck you up. You don't have enough for Shields. You just don't. And I know you probably think going up to 147, your power will carry over. No, I don't think so. If anything, the weight will slow you down. And if anything, you'll be more of a target. You'll be more. Even I could see it I could even see it in Michaela Mayer, where the weight is more like she's not as mobile as she was, and the same thing is going to happen to you, and especially if you do it through and keep your muscles, which is natural for you, but the same way. And Shields already showed she kept her speed even at heavyweight. That shit would look like child abuse. But anyway, I just wanted to get this video out. Now, I salute you for going in the ring and doing what you had to do. But that little ass arena, your body looking a lot softer than normal, than usual. And the fact that you fought a journeyman that has an injured leg, a journeywoman rather, that has an injured leg, and the fight stopped on the cut. Okay, the accidental headbutt happened, but bottom line, you didn't dog walk her. You didn't jump on her and do to her the things that you made it sound like you were going to do. We heard you say you dog walked Michaela Mayer, and I highly disagree. There was no dog walking. I felt that you won by 2 rounds, but it was a very close thing. There was no dog walking anywhere. So we've yet to see you actually dog walk someone. We've just seen you beat people. Even when you beat Terry Harper, you didn't dog walk her. You caught her and hurt her, and she turned around and she didn't want to fight no more. So, yeah, but there was no dog walking going, but you won. And the reason I'm saying that is because I feel like you think that you're better than you actually are. And you go into a fight with Shields thinking you're going to go in there and do whatever. Like, man, Shields has too much everything. There's nothing, once again, there's nothing that you do better than Shields. Only in your own head. Nothing. Shields will hurt you. Shields will beat you. She will stop you. And Shields doesn't have to stop what she's doing to come and meet you or any of them anywhere. And if anything, Shields would look like the bully. Or she went all the way up to heavyweight, and now she's coming down to fight, little Alycia Baumgardner, or little Amanda Serrano, or little Katie Taylor. That's exactly what would be said. It would be the same thing, no different. Like I said, from when what's her name? The coal miner's daughter, the one that called out Layla Ali. All that shit she talked. And people, the funny thing was they all made it seem like Layla Ali was picking on her. No. She talked all of that shit. She talked, I got a problem with her calling herself the greatest of all time. I got a problem with her saying she's the best fighter and this and this and this. She said all that shit. She went up, and then everybody made the excuse about she was too small. Well, she should have known that before she went up. That was her problem. She had all that mouth. But you know what I respect, though? Is she went the fuck up. It wasn't no catch weight. It wasn't no, well, you come down and now I come up. She's talking all that shit. She went up, and Layla Ali beat the fuck out of her and stopped her. But you don't want to go to 160 or 154. You're talking about 147. So, Christy Martin, that's her name. But yeah, Christy Martin talked a whole lot of shit and then got a little ass whooped. It would be no different for you. Same way you go up, talk that shit, Clarissa would destroy you. And then you'd find yourself in a situation of trying to make excuses. Now, you might try to pull the Canelo. Okay, she beat me at 147, but I still got my titles at 130. Doesn't make a difference. So at the end of the day, all you'd be doing is going up 17 pounds. You walk around at 150 something pounds, right? So why not 154? But even if 147, even at 154, there's no belts on the line. So bottom line is, you can't say that you're too small for 154 pounds when you walk around 150 plus. Okay? But Shields don't walk around. Shields walks around 170 something pounds. So for Shields to come down to 147 just to smack you around, she's not going to gain anything. And that's what you fail to realize. She gains nothing by smacking you around. She just can't. I mean, come on. That would be like Roy Jones, coming down to fight Pernell Whitaker. For what? Who's going to really care? All right, come on, Roy. You fucking natural fucking middleweight walk around here fighting a guy that came from 130. For what? What credit is he going to get for beating up on Pernell Whitaker? Now, yeah, he fought Vinny Pazienza. He fought Vinny Pazienza. And it's like another guy, and he had broke his neck. And then came up in weight. But you know what? Vinny Pazienza came up to 160. No catch weight, no come down one weight class. He went up. So my point is, if you're going to call somebody out and you're not willing to go to their weight class, there's no respect there. That's why things should be negotiated before it becomes public. Because once you open your mouth and then once a person, then they try to make a person like they're ducking you by saying, oh, come down to my weight class or come down to this weight class and we'll fight or no fight. Shields don't need you. Shields don't need you at all. At all. Now, all I'm going to say is this. Let's see how the female boxing landscape change with Shields going forward as a heavyweight to become undisputed. Let's see what happens with Serrano and Taylor. Let's see what happens with Baumgardner, her rematch, and what happens after that. Because the truth of the matter is, like I said, 130 is dry as fuck. It's dry. So if you were willing, and this is what I'm saying, if you were willing to skip over 140, 135, 140, to go to 147 and fight Shields, you shouldn't have a problem going up there and taking Michaela Mayer's title. And then guess what you could say? Now, Shields said, go get a belt at 147. I just beat Michaela Mayer. I'm here at 147. And Shields said, if any of them want to fight at 147, they have a belt, make it worth my while, yeah, we can make it happen. Now, does that mean, like I said, she stopped campaigning at heavyweight just to go do that? No. Carry out what you want to do first. No, y'all want to try to use Shields like how y'all do Canelo with the lottery ticket fight. Nah, it's not working like that. Now, if you really about that, why would you not want to go up there and beat Michaela Mayer and take her belt at 147? And then you become undisputed at 147. Now, guess what? Shields do what she do at heavyweight. She got no problem. Now, guess what? Y'all can fight at 147. See, you don't want to put the work in and make these things happen. You just keep talking about what you're trying to do, what's best for you, but you act like everybody's supposed to stop what they're doing to accommodate you. Doesn't work that way. I don't really care for the fight anyway, but what I'm saying is, yeah, if you really want that action, you talk about what she said, okay, no. Right, she also said get a belt at 147. So go fight Michaela Mayer and take her belt. Unify that division. Because while you're unifying your division, that's what Shields is attempting to do at heavyweight. Make that happen. So then your fight, there are belts on the line. There are your belts on the line. And it's now looked at as more prestigious. Come on, think. And you need to do something so you don't have to fight in that little ass garage anymore. Talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hair out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.